Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm just not used to switching when I'm awake.
You do this in your sleep?
Well, how do you change dimensions?
And you don't get affected by the vertigo this way?
Honestly, the way we do it, I hardly even notice. So, what am I in for, exactly?
Just preliminary monitoring until the candidate is ready. Your counterpart specifically requested I switch you back before then.
Yeah, that was the deal. I'm actually more curious about the experiment itself, though. Taylor and Vates could only really tell me up into Project Boone.
Glad to hear you took my message to heart.
You could have tried to give some clearer directions, at least.
Those two have been leaving these codes all over the place around here.
So you knew from the start, huh?
That's as good of a chink in Bologen's armor as you were going to get. To their credit, I think I was the only other person to decode them. But once you know they're there, it becomes
trivial
rather
unless you're
trivial.
Completely surrounded by nonsensical posters. Trivial unless you're completely surrounded by nonsensical posters.
So I've been told.
So, what is this paradigm he's going to be infected with?
In a way, all of us are already infected by it. Are you familiar with the collective unconscious?
Oh, that's the Jungian idea, that all of our minds are connected, right?
In a sense, yes. All of humanity shares similar recognition for certain patterns and archetypes. Show anyone a picture of a skull and they can infer a similar sense of danger. That's how similar stories get repeated through different cultures.
So what, you're telling me all that stuff is real?
It being real wasn't that big of a discovery. What we found was that it can be made physical. Elements of the collective unconscious can be brought into the conscious world as well. That is where potential stems from, for example. Exceeding the limitations that yourself and others expect out of you creates a ripple effect that we can pull from.
So then, what's the paradigm?
The paradigm is the manifestation of humanity's many shared desires, things like power, lust, or even the desire for a hero to protect the world.
That seems a little specific, don't you think? Dear, I thought psychology couldn't get more insane than Oedipus.
Only if you refuse to see the bigger picture. All throughout history, people have crafted stories of the heroes they've wanted to see, all of them different on the surface, and yet they share the same fundamental traits. It's as if there's this definition of a hero that we all simultaneously feel, whether we know it or not. It's that knowledge, that desire, that they will take as a limb from the paradigm so it may exist consciously through you.
And here I thought psychology couldn't get any more insane than Oedipus.
It's actually quite straightforward in practice. We want to foster an individual with as much latent potential as possible. What could exceed one's natural limitations more than being recognized as a hero by all of humanity?
Recognizing yourself as one, maybe? I don't know. I just don't really put a lot of stock in people as a collective. What's that one quote? Think of how stupid the average person is, and remember that 50% of them are worse than that.
You really are distinct from your counterpart. If we had more time together, I'd love to figure out why.
I don't think we're that different from each other once you get to know us. But hey, with any luck, we'll be out of here before that happens.
Well, it was nice meeting you. But I'll have to switch you back now. I have other impending duties to attend to.
I'd say likewise, but, still complacent in killing me.